So hey, it's me, and I'm going to be doing my first ever book review on this channel. I'm going to have a playlist, and it's going to be called Book Reviews. And when I upload a video, it's going to be called BR and then the book that I'm doing. Because I don't feel like saying the book's name and then book review. I'd rather say BR, colon, book. It's how my brain works. So the book I am doing is called This Is Where It Ends. I talked about this book in my previous video, and I read it in so I started it Wednesday and I ended it on Wednesday, but I'd taken like a 3-day break from the book, so technically it only took me 2 days to read it. But besides that, this book was actually really good, and I'm going to get into more about the book as I continue on with the video. But I would definitely recommend it. But as I said in my previous video, to read this book, you have to be over 14, or you got to be super mature. I'm going to give the basic summary of This Is Where It Ends. So basically, it's the start of a new semester, and all the students are gathered in the auditorium for a school meeting. This school is kind of like, there's a bunch of smart kids there, athletic kids. It's basically like a charter school. Anyways, so the speech ends, and it's the same speech every year, and it always ends at 10 a.m. The students get up, they go to the auditorium doors to leave, and they're locked. At 10:05, somebody starts shooting, and it turned out the person who started shooting was a former student there. That's not actually a giant spoiler, because it even says right on the flap, it says, told from 4 different perspectives over a span of 54 harrowing minutes, terror reigns as one student's calculated revenge turns into an ultimate game of survivor. So it said right there that it was a student. And the book itself isn't like a J.K. Rowling style of writing. It's not like blow your mind writing style. But it's not as low as like Twilight or Divergent. The writing style and the way that the author wrote the book actually fit the book. Because even though it was written in kind of like choppy sentences, when you're in those situations, you don't really think complex. You think, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it fit the characters because the way that it was presented, it was really good how it was presented, and I really liked it. And the book, I'm going to put it on my lap now. The book itself had me crying, had me laughing, had me crying, had me laughing, had me crying, had me laughing, had me sitting on the edge of my seat. I had so many mixed emotions about this. I normally don't read thrillers, but recently I have started to. I've even started writing thrillers, so that's a lot of fun. However, the book, there's a lot of death in it, or violence, and obviously there's going to be violence in it because it's about a school shooting. I'm really mad that something happened in it, but I can't spoil. But yeah. Anyways, the book was written by an author. I can't see her name. I'll put her name in the bio. But the author is part of a foundation called We Need Diverse Books. And she is an executive member of the foundation. And basically, we need diverse books. I researched it. It's about how the founders and the foundation want to publish and present books that aren't just average white kids. They want there to be like different races in it, because that's very important to the society, because it's just not a bunch of white kids. It's a mix of everything. Like in high school, at least at my high school, it's very like diverse, and it's very welcoming to different races. Even though there's a bunch of jerks at my school, it's welcoming, and some people might feel safe there. And that's very nice about my school. That's the one thing that's good about my school. Everything else, like the education, the sports, and just the people in general. But the diversity of the school is ding, 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 ding. Because there's like the theater kids, and there's the athletes, and there's the outcasts, and the art kids, and a lot of them all combined together, and they're like these like super students. I'm like a mix of everything. I'm like a theater kid, I'm a science kid because I'm in Science Olympiad, I'm creative. It's a mix of things, and that's probably why another reason why I related to this book, because there's a dancer, and then there's a bad boy, and then actually the shooter is an outcast, and then there's a runner. It's just all mixed together. All these different characters that are saying the points of views of this book are different, not stereotypes, but they're different, like they're in different parts, but somehow they all twine into the story, and it's amazing. It blew my mind how everyone kind of just found their part and made the story, because it takes a lot to do that. And that's why another thing I appreciate this book. And I'm glad I found this on Goodreads, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have picked it up at Books A Million. And I probably wouldn't be super, super happy with it now. But yeah, it was really good. And I would totally recommend it to you if you're watching this. I already have like 3 other people who want to read this book. And it consists of my best friend, my mom, and a girl in my chemistry class who also does theater and choir. But I'm not in choir, but I do theater. So, I just wanted to give my review on the book because I kind of promised that I would. So, here's my review on This Is Where It Ends. I would totally recommend it if you're over the age of 14 and if you're not sensitive to violence. So, this is where it ends, and I bid you goodbye. Ta-ta!